Hi team. Today I'm going to be sharing with you on how to navigate the Spot console and looking at the Eco dashboard, looking at some of the options that you have within the Spot console that you can play around with. So what you can see here at the start is the dashboard that has all of the options for you. Going through it, if you can see here in these boxes, you have the savings potential. So how Spot works is you can connect your AWS linked account, your AWS organization account, or your Azure subscriptions to Spot. And what we will do is we will do a discovery of what are the resources that you have within your accounts that we can help optimize. And once we have those places that we can optimize, we populate the Spot console with all of these options. So you can see these are some of the stuff that we can optimize for this account that has these accounts connected. Like we can get you about 14,000 worth of savings. Um, there is some in storage as well and in the different resource groups connected. Now scrolling down, you can see the breakdown of your savings by each week, each month for Eco and Ocean. Eco and Ocean is our service that helps to automate your Kubernetes and your auto-scaling groups infrastructure by using Spot instances. And here you'll see what is the total savings percentage, what are the savings from Elastic Group and Ocean, what would have been the potential cost if you ran it by yourself, or if you ran it with everything on demand nodes, and what is the actual cost by using Spot. Next, you can filter this by week, by day, or by month, just to get the more granular breakdown that you require. So this is the savings over time. This is the potential cost versus the actual cost. And here on the right is basically a breakdown of what are the resources that you have on your account. So they can be Spot instances, they can be saving plans, reservations, or on-demand instances when required. Next, I'll go to the optimization page. Here you can see a breakdown of the three hyperscalers that you have, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, and then the products that can help optimize. So for this, it will be either be Ocean or Elastic Group. And here at the bottom, you can see all of the resources that we can help you optimize. What is the cloud account that the resource belongs to? What is the type, the number of instances, the instance type that is currently running with that resource, and what are the estimated monthly savings and the savings percentage. You can do this over Azure, GCP, or AWS. And for this account, because it's a demo account, you can only see some of the saving numbers. Yep. Next, we go to cost analysis. So this cost analysis page basically shows you a breakdown of what are the top account spend efficiencies, how much you can save, how much of it is being optimized right now, and to help you connect the account directly. Here you can see your month-to-date costs. What is your projected cost for this month? And the trends of the cost. Is it going up? Is it going down? And a bit of the missed savings from the last week. Scroll down a bit. Here you can see a spend analysis that is broken down based on the accounts that you have across the different months. You have tax, service, based on like the accounts that you have, EC2s, saving plans, S3, RDS, VPC. Life cycle, whether it's Spot instance, reserve instance, saving plans, or on-demand instances. The instance type as well, to see a breakdown, a more granular breakdown of what are the instance types they have. So there are a lot of ways that we show you the spend analysis. And what you can do over here is this amortize. So amortize is basically a button or a feature that lets you decide whether you want to consolidate the whole cost of the RI that you purchase with by yourself across its lifespan, or whether you want to show it on the month that you bought it. So let's say you bought an RI for 1 year at that cost $1,200. If you want to show the non-amortized cost, it will show 1.2K at the month that you bought the RI. It could be in January. And if you enable amortize, what happens is it will spread this 1.2K equally across all months. So instead of 1.2K at the start of January, he will show $100 in January, 100 in February, 100 in March, 100 in April, and so on and so forth until the end of the RI's lifespan. So that is this amortized cost. It will take a while to load, but yeah. So the next area that I'll be going into will be Eco. So this is the dashboard of Eco. Here you can see what is the total amount that you saved over time. And this time is relative to the time that you have here. So you can select how far back you want to view your data. You can be the past 7 days, the past month, past 3, 6, or even 1 year. And here you can select the services that you have covered with Eco. For AWS, usually the reservations that you can purchase are EC2 instances, Elasticache, OpenSearch, RDS, and Redshift. So as you select these options, the number will change to show you what is the amount saved over time. Next will be the monthly commitment. So across all of the RIs that you have, how much are you paying for it monthly in total? And the month-to-date savings. Now this compute ESR is basically the compute effective savings rate that basically shows you what is the percentage that you're saving when you're using on-demand instances versus using Eco's reservation. Basically, how much are you saving when you are using us to cover your reservations for you? And here you can see a breakdown of the monthly savings. You can filter this to have only Eco savings, which is basically reservations that Eco purchases for you after you decided to use Eco, and non-Eco savings, which are existing reservations that you have prior to using Eco. Next will be the monthly commitment over time. So this graph basically shows you the lifespan of all of the reservations you have within your AWS account. So you can see as the months go, you will start to see a drop in the reservations. This is because the reservations will start expiring. And when they start expiring, then it goes to a smaller number. But what Eco does is we are continuously monitoring your account for you. And as things start to expire, we will start to make more reservation purchases for you. So this graph is dynamic. Next will be coverage over time. So coverage over time, what coverage is basically of all of the applications that you have running, all of your EC2 instances you have running on your AWS account, what is the percentage of those EC2 instances that are covered, that have an RI purchased in place of that? AWS usually recommends 100% coverage because that means that everything that you're using is being covered with reservations. But in the event that you do not have, let's say your application goes down or you decide to decommission an application, what happens is you will have an additional RI that is not being used. So what we do at Spot is we try to keep your coverage at about 80% for EC2. And for non-EC2 instances, we try to keep it at about 60 to 70% for a bit of flexibility in case there's any change in your application. So this is what you can see on this coverage over time graph. And it also shows you the savings, what you have spent if you use on demand versus what you are actually spending using Spot. Next, if you scroll down, here you can see the commitment details. Basically, these are all of the reservations that you have within the AWS account. You can filter them by the source, which is whether it's equal or non-equal, by the service as well. Basically, any of the headers that you see on top here, you can filter by them. And it basically shows you what is the lifespan, when there's the start date, the end date, the instance type, the quantity, whether it's a convertible or a standard reservation, such details. Yep. Next, we show you the usage breakdown. So whether you have reservations, saving plans, EC2 saving plans, or compute saving plans. And finally, this is the commitment usage over time. So you can see which are the reservations that is currently not being used or not being utilized, as you can see here, or if there are any reservations that are being fully utilized. So in general, we try to keep everything at 100%, but because this is a demo account, we show you what it looks like at 0% also. And finally here will be the last two pages, where you can see the total active commitments that we have for this. Oh, let me change this to everything. This will show you what are the active commitments that you have across all services. EC2, Elasticache, OpenSearch, RDS, and Redshift. You can break this down by the service, or if you want to break this down by the region. So you can see the EC2, all of the RI spend within the US East 1 region, US East 2, and all so on and so forth that is relevant to you. And finally here, you can see the effective cost and waste. Basically, what is the effective cost of the RIs that you have, and what will be the equivalent on-demand cost of it. And if there is any waste within the reservations that you have with us, or any saving plan waste. Usually, we ensure that there is no waste, because waste is basically money that is not being fully utilized. Everything would be fully utilized, and this you would normally not show up. But for demo purposes, we show this to you. And the effective savings rate across all the products that we have. And finally, I was talking about coverage here, and of that coverage, let's say you have 10 EC2 instances at 80% coverage, so you have 8 reservations purchased. Of that 8 reservations purchased, how many of it is being fully utilized? So of the 8 reservations purchased, perhaps you may not be using all 8, you may be using like 6 of them. So your utilization will drop to 75%. Now for Eco, we try to make sure that your coverage stays at about 80% for EC2 and 60% for non-EC2, but utilization stays at 100% all the time. So any RI that you have purchased is being fully utilized. And that's it for AWS. Next, I will go to Azure. Azure is a more watered down version of AWS. You still have all of the services that you have here, the monthly commitments, and the savings over time. Here you can see the reservation details as well, and the reservation usage, so the utilization of it. Next, you can see the distribution, whether it's using a saving plan or RI, reserve instance. And lastly would be how much of the saving plan is being utilized right now. How much of the reservation is being utilized. So here, you can see the reservation order ID and the reservation ID. This is basically giving you a high-level overview of the reservation. While in here, it gives you more granular details. Which reservation, which subscription ID is being applied to which reservation, how much is being used, how much is being saved, what is the OD price, whether it was bought by Eco or not, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is basically the breakdown of the two dashboards. For Google Cloud right now, it is still not as fully fleshed out as compared to AWS and Azure. However, the team is working on building out the capabilities of Google Cloud for Eco and will be up and functional soon. Yeah. So that's it for the breakdown of this. Lastly, what I want to show you will be here, the settings. Here you can see under Spot accounts, what are the subscriptions that you have connected, what are the management accounts you have connected, the linked accounts for AWS or any management accounts for AWS that you have linked with the Spot console. And here you can look through all of the users that you have your within your Spot management tool. Now you can create a user that has either console or programmatic access to the Spot console basically. Just for demonstration purposes, let me show you what it looks like. Now here you can create groups. So groups is basically what you will define that your users can have access to within the platform itself. And here you can select policies that you want to allow them to use. So perhaps if you want them to have full access to everything, or if you want them to only access Elastic and Ocean, you can define that here and to select to which account. So you have maybe you have 10 accounts, 10 cloud accounts that you have linked with Spot. You can define select accounts that you want your users to have access to only. Now next, in these groups, you can also create a new group. And within the group, you can attach policies, the permission policies that you want automatically. Account viewer, there is organization viewer as well, or organization admin, which basically gives the user full rights and full access to everything on the Spot console. And if you want to go into more granular details or granular customization of your permission policies, you can do that here as well. So you can create a new policy that will define what your users can access or deny. Next, if you require an API to automate the process of creating clusters in the future, you can create a permanent token from here. And the last thing I want to show you will be savings. So this savings basically shows you the savings over time in each cluster, in each Spot account, and for which resource it is. So it shows you what is the potential cost, the running hours, the actual cost, and the savings percentage. So you can split this as same as equal to the number of days, months, or years required. And then you can download and export this to show back to maybe your stakeholders and anyone who requires this information. Which is one point that I missed out as well in Eco. Let's say if your management requires you to have a list of all of the RDS instances or RDS reservations you have, all you have to do is click on Services RDS, scroll down, and over here, you can just export the CSV. And it will export it for you automatically in a readable fashion. And in case you need the source to be only Eco services, only reservations that were bought by Eco, you can do that here, source Eco, and click apply. Or maybe if you want to look for reservations that have ended, that's doable as well. So you can go to end date and select the end date that you require. So these are the levels of customization that you can do on the Eco dashboard. And I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, anything that you need help with, please feel free to reach out to Yuichi-san, or if not, you can reach out to me directly as well. Thank you.